Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Breaking Bad. Man, it's been a while, hasn't it? I mean, it's been about 2 weeks, but still, 2 weeks is 2 weeks. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had Say My Name, where we got the infamous gif of Heisenberg saying, "You're goddamn right." But we also had a lot of hot water for Mike, who, like I said, he was in hot water with the DEA. The crackpot, well, not crackpot, but sucky lawyer that he hired, that wasn't Saul, basically caved, and the DEA was right on him, and he was about to head out, but then, he had a confrontation with Walter, and Walter ended up shooting him, and Mike is dead. And yeah, so, man, such a great character we have lost now. Meanwhile, Jesse's out, but we'll see how long that lasts. I'm sure Walt will find a way to drag Jesse back in, but as far as he's concerned, he's out. And yeah, I guess that was pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Breaking Bad, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link, that will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it just like a normal reaction, and when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Breaking Bad. Here we go. See, they showed that earlier. They showed, that specific book earlier, in another shot. But I couldn't see what the book was. So I didn't really think about it. But yeah, it had to... When it was going through, I was thinking, okay, what could be in here? There's obviously a reason we're sticking on Hank in here. And I was like, maybe he's going to find something. And then it's like, oh, wait, but what could he find in that bathroom? Walt doesn't put anything in that bathroom. Oh, he put the book in there. He put the book in there. Gail's book. Oh, no. And that's the mid-season finale, not last episode. I have been informed that this episode is the mid-season finale. And... goodness gracious. Because this episode, you could almost think is maybe I don't want to say an aftermath episode, but I mean there's not a whole lot of action in this episode, and that's fine, That's totally fine. It's kind of, Heisenberg tying up the remaining loose ends, basically, until eventually, he comes to the realization that he needs to be out. He has made enough money. He's done. He has no reason to keep going with the Empire. But then there's one last little thing in there. One last little thing in there. Oh. Hank knows. Hank knows. Hank knows. He has another lead, because that was the thing. Those guys were his last lead in the Heisenberg case. The case that he has been going through for so long. So long. And now another lead has dropped right onto him. And this time, it's taking him right to the source, right to the actual Heisenberg. Because he has gone after Gale as Heisenberg, Gus as Heisenberg's at least distributor, and found Gus's empire, to all of Gus's people, But now he finally has what he has been looking for this whole time. The man behind the meth. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Okay. This is definitely an interesting episode because, again, it's like there's not a ton of, like, action happening in this episode. But I see how this makes for a good mid-season finale, which I'm very curious. Like, man, that had to, leave people in such suspense. It makes me curious where we're going to be next episode. Because, we still have... This is literally the halfway point of the season. There's 8 more episodes, which is crazy, which means we have 8 more weeks of Breaking Bad. Well, technically, we also have the movie afterwards, which, so as long as things go well, we are not taking any more breaks until the end, basically. So, we are going straight through to the end now. So, yeah, that's... So, I was kind of wondering if, because this is the mid-season finale, I was wondering if this would start the time jump. Because we still have, from the beginning of the season, it was only one scene, but we had from the beginning of this season, Walt 1 year in the future, Which we had a bit of a time jump here. It's been 3 months, basically, since his 51st birthday. So, it's been 3 months, so 3 months, so that's 9 months left. I know, that probably took me way too long to figure that out. Simple addition is not my best strong suit. No. Anyway. So it's 9 months until Denny's. The Denny's future. Which is what I'm going to keep calling it. The Denny's future. So we have 9 months to Denny's. So yeah, I kind of figured this would be like, something really huge would have had to have happened. Like no, we can't. We're just not quite there yet. We're not ready for. I don't know. We're not caught up to it. At the very least. So. Okay. All right. Let's talk notes. Gone. Yes, Mike is gone. And man, it obviously it makes sense that they had to dissolve his body, but the thing is, beforehand, literally pretty much everyone else has always been this sort of nameless, faceless person. Like the worst one was the kid, because that was a kid. Everyone else is, it's kind of just been these nameless goons and stuff. Or even Victor, who we had to dissolve, was still like, yeah, not, we're not really crying over spilled milk here, We're not really that sad about Victor. We were more shocked that Gus killed Victor, So that's the thing. Whereas this time around, just imagining, they obviously didn't show the actual body, but just the thought of dissolving Mike is just so... It's sad, honestly, And especially because he was close to getting out, and the fact that he has a granddaughter, And we've stuck with this character for so long. He's one of my favorite characters on the show. So just the horrible, undignified burial, basically, is just so sad. So, anyway. And then we had, Walt was going to handle the 10 men, 10 including the lawyer, which was interesting. And yeah, he still went on that whole thing of, what is this we, Jesse? You're out, remember? That started well, and then I went Nixon again. I can't not do Nixon when I do Walter White. Oh, hang on. Forgot, it's not Christmas anymore. This is an old... I made this a while ago, but an old 7th Hour Films Christmas ornament. I was going to actually update it for this year to put on my tree, but I just never did. And instead I just hung it back there. I was like, well, good enough. but I'm taking this down because it's not Christmas anymore. Specifically, it's December the 30th, which, I mean, it's only been 5 days, but still. Anyway, where was I? So, yeah. So he was still going on the whole, oh, there's no we, Jesse. You're out, remember? See there, that might be my first decent Heisenberg impression. So, yeah. And then we had expanding. I love that talk with Lydia, which, that's the thing, when she's first introduced, she's sort of, she's very scared and very nervous about all this, and it's like, oh, we need to handle these guys, right? And, Mike is there, and he's like, look, calm down. I'm not just gonna kill all these men. We'll have it covered, don't worry. Hang on. I'm setting a video to public, and I have to sneeze, too. This is great. Okay. Anyway, back to where I was. So she's first introduced as sort of this sort of scared person in this business, but I like that the more you talk to her, honestly, like the more the ambition in her comes out. Like I like that because even here, or back when they had her chained to a table, basically, they were like she was scared and and pleading for her life. But then she got smart, that's when she figured out about, the train heist and stuff like that. And then now where it's like, she's very nervous that if she gives the list, then she will just be another loose end that Walt can, take care of. But I like that. I really do like how smart she is, where she's like, look, I may be terrified, but I have my plan. How about expanding internationally? Which is a very interesting idea. So the blue stuff is going to head over to the Czech Republic, or is heading over to the Czech Republic, which is interesting. And because, see, I was thinking, like, okay, well, if the blue stuff starts showing up in the Czech Republic in Europe, then this case becomes way too big for Hank Schrader to deal with, Because that's the thing, is that the case has kept expanding, but Hank has kept a sort of grip on it. Whereas now, like, if it goes over, even though, they were already going over for, Madrigal and stuff like that, but having all that stuff start to appear, the dog's barking, I don't know why, it's probably a delivery or something. Anyway, but it's like, if the blue stuff starts showing up in the Czech Republic, that might be a little much for, New Mexico DEA Chief Hank Schrader. So, but we didn't end up going there, thanks to the ending of this episode. Anyway, so we got the list. Again, I just really loved Lydia in that scene. It's just interesting. It's like, she's terrified, kind of, like a normal person, she's terrified of dealing with these people like a normal person, but she is very, very smart, and, she figures out ways to keep herself alive, so I really like that. And I also like, when Walt says, like, oh, well, if this international shipping is so great, why didn't you pitch this to Gus Fring? And she was like, well, I did. He said yes. We were about to finish the deal when he exploded, you jackass. Like, I really do like that. It's like, no, yeah, Gus was going to do that, but then you killed him, you dick. Like, so that was really funny. I like that. And then, yeah, they took out all the guys with Todd's swastika tattooed family, and yeah, that was interesting, just watching all those men die, which I don't fully remember them killing the lawyer, but I mean, obviously they did, so that was interesting. That was really interesting. I guess he could have just been, he may have been the first guy, actually, now that I think about it. He may have been the first guy on the phone. Maybe. I don't fully remember. Obviously, because, yeah, like, he would have been he would have been arrested, so he would also be in the orange jumpsuit. So obviously he was one of them. So yeah, so that was interesting, and just watching all those people die. And it was interesting too, like, when it's like, okay, stab, 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 and then the throat. It's like, what? Couldn't you just do the throat and then he's done? Like, wait a second. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just so, like, I don't know. I don't think you could recover from the throat, though. So maybe that was it. It's like, oh, well, if the possibility of recovering, even if you hit the throat, so, you put enough wounds in. I don't know. It just seemed like overly cruel. Like, we're going to stab you 1,000 times and then cut your throat. Like, well, just cut the throat. Just get it over with, Ugh. Anyway. And then, yeah, we had Hank, which, you kind of expect a Hank rage, but it is. It's a very, it's a seething rage, but then, he has, I do like that moment, him, talking about the job he had as a kid, as a young man, where he's like, oh, yeah, marking trees, and I should have enjoyed it more, It's a whole lot better than hunting monsters. Like, yeah, honestly, I get that. And yeah, because it's like, you do kind of expect that job when Walt's like, oh, well, it must have been nice, out in the woods all day. And it's like, no, I got sunburned. There were mosquitoes. Like, yeah, it's still outdoors. There are still bugs you have to deal with. But yeah, but I like that, him sort of reminiscing about that. We had the well-oiled machine. 3 months of a well-oiled machine. That was pretty crazy. So yeah, I like that. It was a good passage of time and showing, everything that was going down. Walt and Todd were doing well, and, they were shipping things out, shipping things through Declan, shipping things through Lydia. It was all just great. A nice, well-oiled machine. We had... I like how Marie says, like, we could be enabling you by keeping the kids, Like, that was really interesting. We're enabling you by keeping the kids. Which, obviously, that's not really what's going on, obviously, because, she wants the kids to stay there so long as they could be in danger. As long as Walt is in, the kids are out. But obviously... Hank and Marie don't know that. So it was just interesting to hear their perspective on that. It's like, oh, we could be enabling you, And then I wrote down enough. Yeah, when you have so much money that you could Scrooge McDuck roll around in it and you don't know how much it is, you're probably good. So, yeah. I did really like that. That was really cool. How much is enough? At a point, Skylar had to stop counting. Like cars stopped thinking. Eventually, Skylar stopped counting, We did have Walt give Jesse the $5 million, which that is definitely, part of him being out. Is, yeah, I'm out. I've had my time. I'm going to let go of the Empire because clearly I don't need it. Let me just, he basically was making amends with Jesse, which, he said, like, how long until you go back to, drugs and stuff. And it's true. He did go back to drugs, but Walt did give the $5 million. And that was interesting, too, when it looked like Jesse was ready with a gun in case he needed to. In case, Walt did something, I guess. He was ready with a gun, which is interesting. But, yeah, Walt is out. Every time he thinks he's out, something drags him back in. That's the quote, right? It's something along those lines. I think I paraphrased, but still, you get the idea. Yes, Walt is out. But even though Walt is out, Skylar's happy, the kids are back home, there is something that will drag them back in, and that is Hank figuring out that Walter White is Heisenberg. And that, I think, is going to take us into a one hell of a back half of this season. I am so excited. And This is going to be insane now. Now that the secret's out, it's like waiting for them to reveal Merlin's a sorcerer. It's like you wait for this. You wait for Hank to figure out that Walt is Heisenberg, and now we're there, and I am so excited for it. But that is basically it. Brilliant episode. Really, really loved it, and I can't wait to get to next time. So with that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next episode. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.